How you doing, fam? This is Chris Mazo here. I'm going to talk to you about the top keyboards of 2024. Whether you like to use it for either gaming or productivity or even for office use, here are the top keyboards. I'm going to list you from the best budget for gaming, for productivity. I'm going to list them in all different categories for the type of needs that you are looking for. Now, there are a difference when it comes to keyboards. Now, the first difference is you're going to typical membrane keyboard, which is the ones that usually come with a PC or a pre-built PC. It's not the greatest keyboard, but it does the job. So more than likely, that's the keyboard you may have started with, or if you have just built a PC and you just want to figure out what is a good keyboard for you, I will tell you the exact ones. The next one, we have mechanical keyboards, which are mechanical switches, last a lot longer compared to the membrane ones because over time they tend to wear and then they start sticking to the keyboard and become practically unusable. Mechanical keyboards can be used over and over. Typically, they have over 1 million key presses in order for these mechanical switches to even begin to wear. You also have optical switches, which uses light, and you even have Hall effect switches. But I'm going to make it a lot easier for everybody out there because I'm going to list it from the beginning by starting with budget. Now, if you're interested in any of these keyboards that I do mention, make sure you check down in the description box down below as I do have them listed. Also, you can go down to the timestamp if you want to skip into the category that you are more interested in. Now, the first keyboard I do want to mention is Redragon's Red Switch mechanical keyboard. It is a great deal, especially for what this keyboard does really offer. It does use red switches. You don't have to use as much pressure when you are pressing on the keys. Redragon's keyboard has over 20 different preset lighting effects that you can set. It doesn't require any extra software for your RGBs to be lit on that keyboard. And it follows the typical RGB spectrum of the 16.8 million colors. One of the best parts about Redragon's keyboard, it is fully customizable and you can set the switches or the keys to however you want. You can set different macros and it is great for games such as MMORPGs or RPGs because of all the different ways you can really customize the keys. You can even set it for different settings in games even when it comes to competitive gaming. It even comes with 4 spare switches if any of them wear, and you can even change out the switches if you'd like. Now it comes with a really decent metal panel, which is aluminum. It will help the hardware last longer, and it weighs up to 2.77 pounds, which is a solid beast, so you don't have to worry about it flipping all over the table. It even has anti-ghosting, prevents any unwanted key presses. They even give you up to 12 multimedia keys on this keyboard, and you can get it as low as $46.99 USD. The top TKL keyboard I gotta mention out there, if you're not familiar what TKL is, it means 10 keyless. Reason being, it's a much smaller keyboard and it's great for portability. And for those who like to travel more, TKL is a great option, and so are mini keyboards. Now, with the top TKL keyboard, I had to mention Keychron's K3 version 2. It's a sleek and modern design and blends perfectly when it comes to either gaming or for work. It does have a 75% layout. On top of it, it is ultra slim. One of the best features that Keychron K3 has is it can pair up to 3 different Bluetooth devices, and that's simultaneously. So you don't have to worry about it disconnecting to another device. It can connect to any of your 3 devices without issue. This keyboard is also Mac friendly. It has all the keys that is necessary for all the Mac functions if that's what you're looking for. So you can also use this for not only just Windows, but it can be used for Mac purposes. It does use the new Keychron mechanical switches, which are 40% lower. A nice feature to have, especially when you do take this keyboard on the go. It does require less pressure when pressing on the keyboard, so the keyboard can respond immediately. Now, the best part about this keyboard, it does feature a aluminum body, but the bottom of it is plastic. It does come with a floating keycap design, which makes it much easier for usage. Keychron K3 version 2 for as low as $83.99 USD. What is the best productivity keyboard? You gotta check out LogicKeyboard. They make some beautiful keyboards. They feature keyboards not only for video productivity or photo productivity, can be even used for music editing or even 3D design. The keyboard illuminates up to 5 different levels depending on how bright you want this keyboard. Now it's not going to be a standard RGB, but more like a backlight. You know this keyboard is designed for productivity because the USB port contains up to USB 3.0 speed, so you can even connect any of your portable SSDs into there easily. The keyboard's designed with the shortcuts on the keys to make it much easier for you to understand the different key presses in order for you to function on your type of productivity. Specifically designed for either Windows or Mac, you just have to pick the entity that you would like to use. You would just have to pick out the keyboard that you need for your productivity. So unfortunately, it does not have dual purpose, similar to what I mentioned earlier when it came to the Keychron. Now you can pick up this keyboard as low as $139.99 USD, and they do have different variations and different pricing depending on what type of keyboard that you are interested in. Now let's go back to the mini keyboards, because I gotta mention one of my personal favorites is the Corsair K70 Mini. Reason being, it's a great keyboard to have, especially when you are on the go. Because if you have an ASUS ROG Ally, or if you have a laptop and you happen to travel, you can actually use that keyboard as actually a mouse. It does not have a trackpad on the keyboard itself, but you can actually use the keys as a cursor for your laptop or your other device that you would like to use. Corsair has a lot of flexibility when it comes to the different shortcuts and key functions for their keyboard. Has up to 5 different hardware profiles that you can program into it. It uses blue switches in this keyboard. You are also able to change them out if you choose to. Now they use 3-point switches in the K70 Mini. It has pre-programmed RGB functions on the keyboard, and it even features up to 5 to 10 different profiles when it comes to RGBs. One of the best parts of having Corsair's K70 Mini, it does features Corsair Slipstream wireless adapter. You can not only hook up your keyboard to this adapter, but you can connect your other Corsair devices, such as your headsets or even mouse. So you can hook up to 3 devices to it, less than 1 millisecond of delay. You can pick up the Corsair K70 Mini for as low as $119.99 USD. That's definitely one of the choices I would have to go with. Next one I gotta mention is the top Hall effect keyboards. And why am I mentioning Hall effect keyboards? It's because they are a special type of breed of keyboard. And reason being is because they actually read off of how far you push down the key in order for you to activate the switch. So if you're pushing the key in about 60%, that's what the keyboard will exactly read. Now this is great for action or adventure games or even FPS shooters, because you have the flexibility of the sensitivity of the keyboard. Now the keyboard I have to mention is the SteelSeries Apex Pro. It is completely customizable, and it has the OmniPoint Switches 2.0 built with this keyboard. They even have different features such as rapid trigger. It will execute the movements with the erratic movement you press on the key. You can even set the distance of travel on the keyboard, which makes it an awesome choice. Now it actually has up to 40 different levels per key when it comes to actuations, from 0.1 millimeters to 0.01 millimeters all the way to 0.4 millimeters. One of the top designs about this keyboard is the OLED smart display that it does have to give you information on the different games and applications that you're using or different profiles that you can check through. It does have USB pass-through, as most of the other keyboards as I mentioned. You can purchase this keyboard for as low as $169.99 USD. Now, one of the top keyboards I mentioned is a full-size keyboard, and that's going to be the Corsair K100 or the K100 Air. Reason being, it is a OPX keyboard. Now, the reason why I had to list this on the top of keyboards, it is super responsive. It's so responsive to the point that you have to be actually careful when you press on the keys, otherwise it will just pick up on every reading. In fact, it's so fast that it reads up to 4,000 Hertz of hyperpolling, Now, the keyboard is beautifully designed and as it is full aluminum and really nice and easy to even clean between because of that. Now, of course, with these Corsair keyboards, you do have to control a lot of these lightings through Corsair iCUE, but it does have some preset lighting if you choose to. What is really nice about this keyboard is it does have different media functions and your typical F keys. It has a G1 through G5, which are your extra keys which you can program for any type of gaming or productivity use, which is a nice feature to have. One of the best features that it does have as well is the wheel, and the wheel is a little bit different from what you saw on a K70. With the K70, you see the wheel is set to whatever it's preset to. But with the K100, it's actually fully customizable to your liking. For example, I set my wheel for Premiere Pro to be able to scroll through my timeline with ease, which you can easily do. A keyboard I can also highly recommend, but it is also a very pricey option as it is $199.99 USD. But it is great for both gaming and productivity use. If you're interested in any of the keyboards that I mentioned, make sure you go down in the description box down below as I do have it there. Now, if you know anybody else who is looking for either gaming or productivity keyboards, make sure you share this video with them. Also, if you found this content very useful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're not part of the big wonderful fan base, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button for more, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. For all the newest updates, make sure you follow my X handle right here, as it is the same as my TikTok and IG as well. Fan guys, what is your favorite keyboard of 2024? Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo signing out.